This video is all about waking, feeling rested and clear, grounded, ready to start your day. If you are new, welcome. If you're a returning, welcome back. I am Dr. Kelli Ritter. I share as much information about nutrition and quantum health related to more energy, better mood, better sleep. And I am super excited and glad that you are here. If you like this video or you like our content, please like and share. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate that. Thanks so much and happy healing. You want to wake up feeling energized and grounded and clear and ready to start the day, but you don't? Okay, I got you. In this video, we're going to talk about the missing piece. Almost always the missing piece when people do not get restorative sleep and are not energized. So if you're the type of person that feels tired all the time and you feel exhausted, but yet you're doing a lot of things to feel better, like you're getting exercise, maybe you're eating well, or you feel like you're eating well, and you just cannot figure this out, like you just don't feel great. And you may feel like when you wake up in the morning, you're like on rinse and repeat. Like it's just so exhausting. That is the majority of my clients. You are my people, and I'm here to help you. So yes, there's tons of information about getting restorative sleep. Some of it really good out there in the world, right? You know, having a routine, having a sleep hygiene routine, sleeping, getting a regular sleep time and wake time. All of those things can be helpful. Yes, nutrition is super important, more about mood, really, and getting restorative sleep than anything else. But, and exercise, yeah, of course. Getting exercise is going to help wear you out at least, but it's also great for our body. The piece that's missing is supporting our circadian biology. So we support our circadian rhythms, and that way everything starts to work better and shift. And it's about mitochondrial health. So I'm going to focus on circadian biology and light in this video, but I do encourage you to go over, find the playlist on quantum biology and start just working your way through understanding mitochondrial health, understanding light, understanding how applied quantum biology can help us with energy and mood and sleep. Okay, so in terms of circadian biology, let's rock this. We have a master clock. So all of us heard, like you have a biological clock, right? We have a master clock in our brain. It's right behind the eyes. No surprise, our eyes are a really important piece of this, but it's called the suprachiasmatic nucleus. It's a part of the hypothalamus, and it's this master clock in the light. So our light environment, whether that's natural light or it's artificial junk light or bright lights inside, whatever, we're getting information from those light frequencies through our eyes and sensors on our skin. And that tells our body, it tells every cell that has this, all of our cells have these, also have a circadian clock. And so that master clock is getting the information and then dispensing of the information to the rest of the body. Really important to our mitochondria. So if you're like, what are the mitochondria again? They're super cool organelles. Every cell in the body has these little organelles except for red blood cells. And they do so much more than this, but they make our energy, right? So if you're like, oh, if I want to feel grounded and clear and energized, I have to be paying attention to mitochondrial health. Bottom line with mitochondria, that healthy mitochondria drive health. Dysfunctional mitochondria drive disease. So you're going to want to check out those videos. So that light environment is way more important than any of us usually realize. So you want to start taking as many breaks, getting outside as much as possible. So maybe you can spend a lot of time outside, but if you're working indoors or indoors a lot, getting that light outside, crack a window. So on your way to work or carpool or whatever you do, if you can crack your window, that way the light frequencies can get in. All modern windows these days block the light that we're trying to let in. If you're always covered up and in sunglasses, then your body's not getting the correct information about what time of day it is. Why is this important? Because then your body knows when to make what neurotransmitters, when to release those neurotransmitters, hormones, when to make what, when to release what, right? This is how our body orients to time and space. And also with that mitochondria, they're like little antenna. They pick up and sense their environment. A lot of that is going to be from frequency. That's all frequency, but the light frequencies. So that's why it's really important to get this right. Now, it's simple. So some of you will be like, whatever, I've tried this or whatever. Maybe roll your eyes or whatever. I promise you, if you take this seriously and you commit to fixing your life so that you're supporting your circadian rhythms, you will feel so much better just by figuring out how to support your circadian rhythms. So that's also going to be like what time of day you eat. So eating in daylight, we're diurnal beings. Human beings are diurnal beings. So eating within 30 minutes or so after rising, getting up in the morning, getting morning light, really important. But then also not eating after sunset. So if you as close to sunset as you can, don't eat any more food after that. Obviously, you can drink water, stay hydrated, but first of all, that's really helpful for your gut health. And your body needs a full 12 hours to digest everything in it. So, or your digestive tract needs that. So that's important, but also for circadian biology, because food is an input, is an information input. So we're trying to give our body the best information so that it can be healthy. All right. So getting out in early morning light. Now, there are some people that are really, their circadian biology is really messed up. And this just takes time. And it is going to be a practice of just doing what you can do. But you want to get out, preferably for sunrise. That is amazing to pop outside. I have so many clients and friends now that pop out before coffee, and they say that sunrise light is better than coffee. So you can try it out for yourself, but it's about consistency. So I also have some clients that'll do it like once or twice a week. And that they don't see the same kind of drastic results as my clients who make this a commitment every single day. Even if it's just for a couple minutes, a minute or two every day is going to be better than like 30 minutes once or twice a week. Got it? Okay. So that sunrise and sunset has a really high concentration outside of red light. So infrared light is also important, and red light, which is part of the visible spectrum, that red light is anti-inflammatory. So it's super helpful for people who are having trouble with sleep and energy and mood to get in that red light. Let me be clear. Red light is available from dawn to dusk every single day outside all year round. So it's not about UV light. You may live in a place where you don't have UV for winter. This is not about that. This is red light. So everybody can benefit from being outside in natural light and getting those breaks. Naked eyes to the skies. So taking off the sunglasses, even if it's just for a few seconds, if you've had surgery or something on your eyes are really sensitive, all of that, you just do what you can do. You do not stare into the sun. The only time that it is okay, according to the ophthalmologists that actually understand quantum biology, which I haven't found that many, but there are some. Dr. Montgomery, you can check him out, is an ophthalmologist that has figured out this information. And you don't want to stare into the sun. You can sun gaze right as the sun is coming up over the horizon for sunrise and as it's going down for sunset. I would even caution that just this slowly over time as you build your time outdoors and in the light without sunglasses, that it's really about getting the frequency of light. So you don't need a great view. a view. It's nice to have a nice view of sunrise and sunset, but you don't need it. Do what you can as soon as you can to get outside for a minute or 2 or 30 minutes. If you are struggling with a chronic illness or you've got some serious acute illness, the longer you can be outside, the better. You just want to take time and slowly increase your time there. When you're out in early morning light and at sunset, the more you can be out there, the more it's going to prime your body to be out in the middle of the day when there's UV light available, which is, of course, UVB is how we make our vitamin D, which I would argue is more of a hormone than a vitamin. But any way you look at it, it is really important. It's vital for health. And so getting vitamin D from being outside is going to be way better than supplement. It just doesn't work the same way when you're using a supplement. So supplementation, sometimes we have to do that because somebody's, vitamin D is so low and they're chronically ill and we have to do what we have to do. But as people are getting outside more, that's what you want to do. Now, vitamin D is fat soluble. So you also want to make sure that you've got good fat in your diet, but that's a whole nother story. I just had to mention it. So UVA light, about an hour after sunrise and about an hour before sunset is when UVA light is typically available. So that is the light that is most associated, those frequencies of light during UVA are most associated with mood and focus. That's because that light starts the whole process so that your amino acids, so L-tryptophan, is the precursor to serotonin. First of all, you have to have tryptophan. You have to have amino acids because the amino acids, the essential amino acids are the precursors. Some of them may not actually be essential, like taurine is not essential, but it's a really important amino acid. Anyway, you got to have amino acids for your body to be able to make the neurotransmitters. But then the light helps your body know when to make what and when to release what. For instance, cortisol should be rising in the morning so that we actually have the energy and the drive to do whatever we got to do for the day. But early morning light helps pack up melatonin for recycling and to release, tells the body to release cortisol so you can have energy for the day. Way too much cortisol in the body. It's a stress hormone. So some of it good, tons of it, and especially at the wrong times. That's a circadian biology issue. That's a circadian rhythms issue. Also, gut health. So intestinal permeability, leaky gut is also a circadian biology issue. So when we fix our life to support our circadian rhythms, all of these things start to work a lot better. And you just have to make it a priority and just keep practicing. Like it's a practice. It's a daily thing that you're like, oh, I took well today. I cracked the window. Yay. I did something for my health. The other big piece, not just getting outdoors for light or cracking windows or whatever you have to do to get that natural light, but is blocking the artificial blue light and the junk light at night. So after sunset, you want to dim lights. You want to have incandescent light bulbs if you can, or have lamps. So you turn on the lamps, you turn off the overhead light fire. So if you sit by a campfire or you have fire pit out back, that's great. But something that mimics that kind of incandescent, like what would be at sunset, is going to be better for you. And honor the dark. So it's about honoring the light and honoring the dark of the day. I was religious about getting out for early morning light. I will get out for sunrise, doesn't matter where I am. I will go outside. I will figure out, we have the internet now, so you can figure out when sunrise is going to be wherever you are. I use the D-Minder app to figure out when to get my vitamin D outside. So if you haven't checked that out, it's a free app. It's quite handy. But I could also figure out when sunrise and sunset would be where I was going to be. So I was religious about that, but I wasn't that great about blocking blue light. And I wasn't really totally paying attention to the red light. And what I can tell you is those two pieces. So getting out in early morning light is really helpful. But then also paying attention to when you can get red light. You can biohack that. You can get a red light panel. I get all of my red light devices and things from Midwest Red Light Therapy. I really like Midwest. I think they're a good company. There are other companies out there. I don't have affiliations with them, but you just do your research and get a red light panel that makes sense for you. You want to get a low flicker. That's really important. And I really wanted it to have near infrared, because near infrared is also really important for the mitochondria and for the gut health, which we won't get into. But I wanted it to be portable. So that's why I went with Midwest. So you can do your own research and kind of figure out there. I do have Nourished 10 will get you 10% off of anything you buy from Midwest. That's where I also get my red light bulb. So at night after sunset, I put on my blue blockers. And then after sunset, I throw on my orange, right? And then I sit by here. I have a red light bulb in my reading spot for after sunset. So after sunset, I just dim all the lights. My husband hates that, but whatever. I just do it anyway. And then I have the red light bulb and I have blue blockers in case if I'm on a device, but I tend to wear them anyway. Like I wore them to the Super Bowl party because all the lights are on and the TV's on. So all of that junk blue light from all of our devices, our phone, our computer, your iPad, all of us that then get on that at night, it's basically that blue light is very concentrated. So yes, there's blue light outside, but it's balanced. But that blue light is predominantly in daytime, especially summer, daylight hours. And that blue light in all of our devices is telling your brain through the suprachiasmatic nucleus and all of the cells that it's noon in the summer in Florida, in the United States, Florida, but somewhere sunny, wherever you live. It's not good for sleep, okay? So I put away devices now. It's hard, people. This is hard. Like, I think I'm addicted to my phone. So like many of you, I really have to like pry myself off of it. And I try to do that by 8:30 at the latest, 8:30 p.m., which means I am now reading books, next to my red light bulb. I am not perfect about this, but I do wear my blue blockers religiously. If you're like, oh, I'm on the computer all day long, I'm indoors, I'm in this lighting. If you're, I don't know if you could be watching, if you're a doctor or something where you're in that horrible lighting and you just go from room to room all day and you don't get breaks outside, not good for health. In fact, Dr. J. Montgomery, that's when he figured out that his health started failing when they went to electronic records. He's the ophthalmologist. Yeah, so that's kind of how he figured the whole thing out. So you might like to get yellow blue blockers for daytime if you spend a lot of time on computers or devices or indoors in terrible lighting all day long. In fact, all of our kids probably should have that because of the lighting in schools, but you might like Viva Rays. So I do have a discount code from Viva Rays. That is 15% off. I'm gonna check out Viva Rays. They're really about circadian rhythm, so it's more than just like blue blockers. It's really about circadian rhythm. Yeah. So these are these funky, cool, there's yellow for the day, and it comes in this cute little container, right? Yellow for daytime, and then it has clip-ons. So then after sunset, you clip on your orange, good to go. And then at night, red before bed. So red, and you can get just red if you want. That actually helps the body release melatonin. So the darker, the better, because it takes darkness for us to release that melatonin. That's why it's really helpful to sleep in a dark, cold room. You want to heat the body up before you go to bed. So you could take like a hot bath or shower or something. You can do a little bit of exercise, but you want to calm the body down and get cool and dark to sleep. So you don't want to sleep with a bunch of blankets or heating blankets or anything like that. So Beaver Rays is another option that you might like. Or you could get like what I had before, which is a pair of yellow, a pair of orange, and a pair of red from Midwest. Yeah, both really great companies. So you can decide, do your own research and see if that makes sense to you. The things that I think are really most helpful for circadian biology is getting outside as much as you possibly can, taking breaks outside, a natural light or movement break, getting out there, getting a little bit of light. You can kick your shoes off and do some earthing while you're out there. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I have a video, at least one video on earthing, so you can check that out. Probably the best kept health secret out there is earthing. So you can do all these things to help your energy and help your sleep, but you got to get the light right, because if you don't get your circadian rhythms supported, I don't care really what you eat or how well you eat or how much you exercise, you're most likely not going to have optimal health. There's got to be some outlier out there that's going to say, but I do. Everyone I have ever met, even when they're super healthy people, if they do not support their circadian rhythms, they do not feel well. They don't have the energy that they want. Their mood is off and their sleep is disturbed. So if that's you, it's about the circadian rhythms and supporting that. So we talked about getting outside for light, morning light, really important. If you can pop out for sunset, that also is really helpful information for the body. Maybe you take the dog for a walk, or you pop outside, or you keep the window cracked or rolled down, or your sunroof open, or whatever you have on the way home from work, whatever you can do to support your circadian rhythm in that way with light. And then really being protective about your indoor lighting, paying attention to the kind of junk artificial light that we're in all the time and what that is telling your body. It's really giving mixed signals to the body. So the body just doesn't know when to make what. So that will help your energy more than you can ever imagine. So I hope that is helpful. I hope that some light bulbs are going off of like, oh, okay. If you feel like, no, I really think my nutrition is a big piece of it, I got plenty of videos about nutrition. I'm a nutritional therapist, love to talk about nutrition. So it could be, I think, moving your window of eating, especially if you're into fasting, totally fine. Fasting overnight, great. Just move that window a little earlier, and you could play with that a little bit and see if that helps your energy and helps your everything, your digestion and everything else. Eating as close to sunset or before sunset, and see if that makes any difference for you. That usually makes a huge difference for people. So yeah, get the light right, and you can have a whole bunch of energy that you didn't know you could have. Okay, happy healing.